Welcome to Resume Writing, Getting Started with Formatting and Organization, offered by Vermont State University Career Development. So the purpose of your resume is not to tell your life story or list every job you've ever had. The purpose of your resume is to get an interview by demonstrating your fit for a specific position. Hiring managers typically spend 6 to 30 seconds on the first scan of a resume. So what are they learning about you during that short time? And if a hiring committee is reading many resumes, what makes yours quickly stand out? I'll be talking about using good formatting, headings in order, and introduce writing an action-oriented resume. Formatting. Your resume should be organized, clean, and consistent to make that strong first impression. Some important formatting elements include, in the US, we read left to right and top to bottom, so the prime real estate on your resume is the top left corner. As you move down and to the right, your content becomes less important. Use an easy-to-read font no smaller than 11 points, and maintain consistency in font type and size throughout your resume, except for your name and possibly headings, which can be a bit larger. Use bold, italics, underlines, and bullets consistently to visually break up text, making it easier to skim and ensuring that the most important information stands out. Ensure alignment and consistency in formatting, including dates, bullet points, and indentation, and maintain a balanced ratio of white space to text and use a 1-inch margin for clean professional appearance. A resource to help you get started is the resume worksheet you can find in Handshake Resources, in the Career Development SharePoint site, or linked along with this video. If you are using our resume worksheet as a template to build your resume, be sure to delete the text written in red and replace any other existing text with your info. We'll be looking at this sample graphic design resume as our example. You can see some of the important formatting elements we just talked about here. Generally, your resume should be 1 page long, especially as a graduating student entering your first professional role. Only have a second page if you have extra relevant information, and be sure to include a header and page number on that second page. There's not one single perfect resume format, but there are key sections that you should include, and we'll talk about each of these headings in the next few slides. So beginning with contact information, do not include a header titled contact information. Just begin with your name. Your name may stand out a little. It could be larger or bold or be centered. If you include your address, just city and state are enough. Include your phone with a professional voicemail and a professional sounding email. You may also include your LinkedIn URL and an online portfolio if those are relevant and current. You'll see a simple example at the bottom of this slide. The second section heading that we'll talk about is a summary or professional statement. You will, this is always optional. If you do use it, it's under your heading. Remember, for your whole resume, but particularly this section, it's not about what you want, but about what you have to offer and how you can add value. So in this section, you'll highlight key strengths, skills, and experiences that are relevant to the specific opportunity. The next section or header is your education. If you're a college student or recent grad, this should come next on your resume, generally under your contact or under the summary, professional summary, because that's most important about you, your recent graduation or your college experience. You will include your full degree name written out, for example, Bachelor of Fine Arts in Graphic Design, the college name and location, just city and state, and your graduation date or expected graduation date. You can also include a strong GPA and any awards or honors you've received as a student. If it's relevant or you've graduated, include previous schools, but leave off high school after your freshman year of college. We're going to move on to skills. In the skills section, you can list related hard skills. Now, hard skills are measurable abilities that you can quickly demonstrate. This could include things like speaking another language or a specific software experience. And you might also include your proficiency level, such as beginner, intermediate, or expert. You wouldn't include in a skills list any soft or essential skills in this section. Those are very important, but they're harder to demonstrate quickly. Instead, you would showcase your soft skills through examples. For example, you wouldn't list communication in this skills list, but you would provide an example of how and when you've used it, and we'll talk about this in a few slides. The next section is we'll talk about is work experience. And your work experience is not limited to just paid jobs. You could also include internships, volunteer work, leadership roles, freelance work, research, and campus activities such as clubs, organizations, or athletics. You'll organize your resume in reverse chronological order with your most recent experiences first. So you might divide your work experience into two sections, a related or professional experience or other experience, to prioritize what's most important and keep that higher up your resume. For each work entry, start with your most recent job, include your job title, your company name, the city, state, and the dates that you worked, and be consistent with your formatting throughout. And you can see on this example, we've used bolds and italics to break up the text. Then underneath, you'll list 2 to 4 bulleted action statements, focusing on outcomes and accomplishments and not on just duties and responsibilities. We'll talk more about this. Use present tense for current jobs and past tense for previous ones. You don't have to list every experience, just focus on what's relevant to the positions you're applying for, while being mindful of any employment gaps if you've been out of college for a little while. And here's an example of how to incorporate unrelated experience on your resume into another work experience section. So it's the same as your related work experience, reverse chronological order, include job title, company name, location, and dates. And underneath, again, you see the bulleted action statements that highlight transferable skills that are gained from this experience. Consider including any of these additional sections. You may have experiences that fit into these categories, which could be incorporated into the sections we've already talked about. For example, club involvement might be under your education if there's just one entry. But if you have significant experience in any of these areas that directly relates to the job you're applying for, it might warrant its own section. So choose the headings that best highlight your information with the most relevant ones at the top of your resume. And the next thing we'll talk about is making your resume action-oriented, emphasizing outcomes and accomplishments over duties and responsibilities. And you do this by using descriptive lines to showcase achievements. And this is really important for standing out. Action statements. So instead of listing duties and responsibilities, write brief bulleted statements to clearly communicate what you offer for this position. Use impactful language to demonstrate your contributions, who benefited, and what were the outcomes that you achieved. To write them, you start with a strong action verb to describe relevant skills and activities. Use present tense for current experiences and past tense for past experiences. Avoid using I statements or paragraphs and be specific. So for example, instead of oversaw students, say oversaw and advised 4 executive council colleagues and 30+ student mentors. And you can see our resources on writing an action-oriented resume for this important step. Some final tips: don't depend on spell check. Complete your resume in enough time to ask friends, family, professors, and career advisors to review. Use language and keywords that are found in the position description so they can easily see that you meet their requirements. And again, check out our resources on tailoring your resume to a specific position. When you're saving your resume, label it first name, last name, resume, and always send it as a PDF to maintain your formatting. If you include references, and you probably will, they should be listed on a separate references page with the names, organization, location, and we have more information on that in our sample references document that's included with this video. So you'll find additional resources, videos, links, and documents to help you with your specific needs, and you can contact Career Development with questions about your unique situation or circumstance. You can email us at careers@vermontstate.edu or reach out to your campus career professional seen here. Thanks for watching.